Test 1 2 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2. Still testing. Test 1 2 2 2 2 2 3 4 2 3 4 2 3 4 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 10 10 10 10 10 10 10. Going pre-post. Stay in mic. Testing 1 2 1 2 4. Testing 1 2 1 2 3 4. I gotta make sure the chords are in the right spot now. Into the return. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Nothing to do with it. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 3 4. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 testing 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Golly, what's interfering? Let's try. Main mix on the fade, go solo. 1 2 1 2 1 2 10 10 10 10 10 10. One. All right. Test 1 2 test 1 2 test 1 2 test 1 2 test 1 2. Test 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2. Let's try that. Testing 1 2 stereo return. I'll take off the pre. Staying 1 2 3 4. Stay. 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. One. 999. 1 2 1 2. 12. 15. 2021. 50. 5 0. 50. 5 0. 999 777. 654. 654.
1-1-2, 1-1-2. Doing the starting lineups, Starting lineups, 1-2, 1-2, starting lineups, 1-2. Calling out Rock Hill, calling out Rock Hill, calling out Rock Hill. One live, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and on behalf of the head of the SCALB, Mr. Legree Oswald, who's down on the field with a microphone, Michael Reesnyder, watching with a very sharp eye, gentlemen, to my right. Welcome to the third and final game. We've been waiting for this one between Rock Hill Post 34 and Florence Post 1, two heavyweights in the state of South Carolina. Your 2022 state champion will battle your 2021 state champion as Jeremy McCoy and his fellows from York County will battle Derek Urquhart, the Hall of Famer, and his fellows from Post 1. A big thank you to George Rigby and Mike Ritchie, who are in the house, and they came up to say hello. Very thankful for those guys. They're great guys, big hearts, in it for the right reasons, and they're all about these kids. That's why we're here. That's what we're trying to do. Appreciate y'all being along for the ride and making y'all a part of your Friday night. Again, the audio is not quite up to snuff to my normal standards, but hopefully it's good enough for everybody out there to listen in without it being too over the top and obnoxious. And there's a member of the media that's going to have to unfortunately sit to my left. I'll go ahead and apologize for in advance to the calamity that is about to commence. As Rock Hill will wear the red tops, blue numbers outlined in white, blue and white stripes down the sleeve, navy blue hat, Rock Hill logo on the front for Florence, going with the black caps with the F on the front, white jerseys across the chest says Post 1 in the more traditional baseball lineup. Rock Hill will be the road team here in the primetime game between these two. Here's how they line up. Leading off as the pitcher, number 11, Cooper Parks. Batting second and left is Ethan Wilson. Batting third at first is Riley Stout. Batting cleanup is third baseman Michael Gibson. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 4, Josh Jackson. Batting sixth at second base, number 6, Tyler Champagne. Batting seventh in right field, number 7, Kamari Moore. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 24, Jaden Surratt. And batting ninth in center field, number 0, Skylar Hooten. Again, it's Parks, Wilson, Stout, Gibson, Jackson, Champagne, Moore, Surratt, and Hooten for head coach Jeremy McCoy, the head coach of the fellows from Rock Hill Post 34, and the rest of his staff is his brother Jordy, Noah Gammons, and Jake Riggins. Now for Derek Urquhart, as they're about to do, actually they're going to do the prayer and the national anthem. Be back to you with the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championships on the We Are From Broadcasting Network. So we've had the code of sportsmanship, the lineups, the national anthem, the greatest words in all of sports in one humble man's opinion. Play ball. Let's do this. Rock Hill, again, they're starting 9 really quickly. Parks, Wilson, Stout, Gibson, Jackson, Champagne, Moore, Surratt, and Hooten. Now for Derek Urquhart and Florence, post number 1. Leading off the shortstop number 4, Colin Minshew. Batting second will be second baseman number 6, Jackson Moore. Batting third is the third baseman, number 2, Nick Foster. Batting cleanup is a very dangerous hitter. Number 16, Shamar Symes will be the designated hitter. Batting fifth at first base, number 23, Zach Hunt, who is a long ball specialist. Batting sixth in left field, number 21, Brody Cook. Batting seventh behind the dish, number 10, Noah Moore. Batting eighth, number 22, Josh Williams in right field. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 20, Jamarcus Williams. And number 7, Tanner Hall is on the mound. So how did these two teams get to this spot? Well, not exactly a straight line for one, more than likely a straight line for the other, as Rock Hill Post 34, the 2022 state champions, will battle the 2021 state champions in Florence Post 1. They wear the Cardinal jerseys, if you will, but tonight going with the all-white as the home team. Run differential for Florence in the regular season, 177 to 68. Let me repeat myself. 177 runs scored, 68 given up. Here's the rub. In the playoffs, 21 to 5. Let that marinate for a second. 7-time state champions. They went to the American Legion Baseball World Series in 2012. They're 4-0 in these playoffs. They beat St. George 5-0, Charleston 9-4. Then Charleston had to forfeit, unfortunately. And then they didn't play again until they boat raced Sumter on the 19th, 7-1. For Rock Hill Post 34, your defending state champions, the only South Carolina team to go undefeated in the North Carolina-South Carolina Challenge, 4-0 in the playoffs, but it hasn't been easy. Run differential is 50 to 17, which is a little misleading because 10 of the 17 runs were conceded to Inman Post 45 on Wednesday night. 16-3 in the regular season, only one loss at home. That was to Winsboro 4-3. And then the playoffs, they blanked Gaffney 9-0, and then beat Jimmy Jackson's Lancaster Post 31 11-2, then 15-5, and didn't play again until they beat Inman Post 45 15-10. As somebody missed the extra point, the first pitch of the ballgame swung on and missed. We are underway. It is 7:03 p.m. in the beautiful city of Florence, South Carolina. Sparrow Stadium, that pitch off the inside corner. And the leadoff man here for Rock Hill is Cooper Parks. Very quickly, 1-1 to count here at Cornell Field. Campus, or not the campus, we're down the road from the campus. That pitch off the outside corner. 2 balls and strike. I want to say a special thank you to Andrew Shipman, who's been very, very helpful, both with technology and with gathering a lot of stuff for Rock Hill. That pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. A lot of streaks on the line. A lot of guys banged up. Some very impressive numbers as that pitch, and the catcher thought it was strike 3, but the umpire behind the plate said no. Ethan Wilson, a 9-game hitting streak. That's impressive. Last year's MVP. Josh Jackson a little banged up, as is a lot of the Rock Hill players. And that pitch is called strike 3, but the previous pitch was better than that one. So we're off to a controversial start here in the home of the Patriots, as that is called strike 3 to Cooper Parks. And 1 up and 1 down for Ethan Wilson. 9-game hitting streak, as we talked about. He's hit 5 ding-dongs in the last 2 state tournaments. Pitch, outside corner at the knees. Remember, this is not day 1 of the state tournament. This is actually day 3. It's just the first day here in Florence. That front door breaking ball misses. 1-1 is the count. Now, here's the difference between the two teams at this moment in time. You have to look at the games that they played and the pitching that has been used. But both head coaches, Derek Urquhart for Florence, Jeremy McCoy for Rock Hill, they've got a lot of big guns at their disposal. However, a couple of big guns, one for each team, that are not going to play tonight, more than likely. That's Landon Sexton for Jeremy, and that's Aiden Palmer for Derek Urquhart. That pitch is swung on at Sky. Shallow right field. Out goes the second baseman for Florence. He'll call off everybody, And squeezing it for out number 2 is Nick Foster. So 2 up and 2 down. And in the previous 2 games today, this is when the wheels have fallen off the wagon for whoever the home team was. Richland scored first on a balk in their game. And then striking first in game 1 earlier today was Camden. Here's Riley Stout. And the time was called before the pitch was delivered. Riley Stout on a 6-game hitting streak. Reached base safely in 9 out of 10. He sprays that one foul left side. Riley Stout, a very good hitter. Matter of fact, he's one of only a handful of guys I've ever seen hit a home run at Fort Mill High School, the Hive, that got it between the light poles. He's that strong. The pitch outside the zone. 2 balls and a strike. We're in the top of inning number 1. Nobody on, no score. We've had some interesting scoring also in the last 2 games. Some very back and forth calls going different ways. But that's what makes baseball great, in my opinion. That one just outside the zone. Catcher asking where that was in the zone. Pitch. Brought that breaking ball around the outside corner, much to the dismay of Mr. Stout. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Riley Stout. Pitch. Swung on, and this one is whistled into the netting off to our left. Tanner Hall. I'll give you a little bit of stats on him once I get to that right page. I think. Here we go. I can get to it quickly enough. Pitch, high outside the zone. This will be his 9th appearance, his 8th start. Mr. Hall has a very impressive whip of 1.31. 14 walks, 33 strikeouts. The pitch, off the outside corner, ball 4. And that's exactly how it started this afternoon for Camden. A 2-out free pass, and that'll bring up Michael Gibson. So here's the problem that you face for both coaches. Both of these teams have wicked war clubs. 1 through 9, there's no easy out. There's no, oh, we can get him here. These guys are just unbelievably torrid with a bat in their hands, both of these teams. And we've seen, for example, Rock Hill fell down 4-0 to Inman in their own house in the top of the first. Hey, no worries, guys. We got this. Final score is 15-10. Not a problem. Pitch swung on and popped up a mile high and over our heads. I was waiting for the bang on top of the roof, but it never came. Michael Gibson safely in 5 out of 6 games. 3 multi-hit games. 2 homers against Lancaster. That pitch gets by the catcher all the way to the backstop. Moving up 90 feet will be Riley Stout on the wild pitch. Now, information on the backstop. It is 58 feet from home plate to the backstop, which is padded. However, at the bottom, 6 inches between where the warning track is and that padding begins. We've seen balls hit that padding and dive. We've seen it hit the concrete and carry them 50 feet back to the catcher. Good luck with all that. The 1-1 fastball just a bit off the outside corner. It's 2 of them. I want to say a special thank you to Mr. LeGree Oswald, Mr. Michael Reef-Snyder for letting me do this. Really appreciate the opportunity, fellas. 2-1, high and outside, 3 more. Got to shake hands with both those guys. A lot of high rollers, if you will, in the ballpark here today. A lot of people from Rock Hill, a lot of people here from Florence. Tanner's pitch swung on and roped left field, but it will take a left turn and bang against the embankment, foul. Where the main entrance is to this beautiful ballpark, Cornwell Field and Sparrow Stadium. 11 years old, $11.1 million. Let that marinate for a second. This TV/radio booth is literally twice the size of a lot of Power 5 conference radio booths. That is not hyperbole. That is fact. I've been in Clemson's, I've been in South Carolina's. This thing is twice the size. There have been 2 radio crews in this box for the first 2 games, and one is not bleeding over the other. That never happens. But that's the facilities here at Sparrow Stadium, home of the Patriots. And this was the home field for Florence Darlington Tech, the Stingers. There's a gentleman from Flodar in the house with us tonight. Sparrow Stadium, the dimensions 330 down the lines, 375 to the powers, 400 to dead center field. And oh, by the way, it's an 8-foot fence. But we have seen a ball leave the yard today. The 3-2, missed high, ball 4. So after getting the first 2, Tanner Hall has walked the last 2. And here comes Josh Jackson, who's got a banged up schnoz, if you will. Doesn't matter. I've seen baseball players play with broken bones before. The Blackwell youngster for Boiling Springs broke his nose during the game and stayed in. Think about that for a second. The ball hit him in the face, broke his nose, and he stayed in the game. And his nose looked like he went about 3 rounds with Mike Tyson. Ball and no strikes to Josh Jackson. The pitch, swung on and missed. Took a little something off that. That pitch, that one is swung on and foul tipped into the glove of the catcher for strike 2. Josh, a very strong young man, OPS, very respectable, 826, slugging a very nice 508. By the way, 4 home runs and 15 RBIs. Get that all over you. That pitch swung on and fouled off, as Mark Packer would say. 1-2 is the count. Rock Hill wearing the red jerseys. Call me crazy. I thought they were going to walk in here with the baby blues, but nope. They got the red tops on. The lights are on, but plenty of sunshine off behind us. Pitch from Tanner Hall. Breaking ball right down Tom Hall Street. Call, strike 3. Got him. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on base. We have the bottom of the first inning. Rock Hill nothing. And Florence coming up. You're watching and listening to the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championships here on the We Are Football Broadcasting Network. Defensively, here's how post 34 will line up. The pitcher is Cooper Parks. He is a strong, tall drink of water. Mr. Parks has some very eye-popping stats when you look at his stats, both as a position player and as a pitcher. Jeremy McCoy has a lot of arms he can go to, and Mr. Parks has certainly been one of those guys. And this is his second start of the year, but that doesn't matter. He can go out there. It's an embarrassment of riches for both of these teams. So it doesn't really matter how far you are into the pen. Both of these teams are going to beat snot of each other. The catcher will be Jaden Surratt. Your infield is Michael Gibson at third. The shortstop is Josh Jackson. The second baseman is Tyler Champagne. First baseman is Riley Stout. Your outfield from left to right is Ethan Wilson, Skylar Hooten, Kamari Moore, and do it first here for Florence Post 1 and Derek Urquhart's bunch. It'll be shortstop Colin Minshew. It'll be followed by Jackson Moore, then Nick Foster. Pitch This is low and outside. And I'm a little nervous because I've got the beloved AD of Florence to my right and some guy named George is to his right. I'm a little nervous. The pitch swung on a slow roller to the shortstop. Got to glove it, throw to first, and not in time. Beating the wrap, Colin Minshew, who can absolutely motor down the line. That'll be an infield base hit. There wasn't a whole lot Colin could do with that. That should go as a base hit. Thought we were going the next batter for Florence. That's Jackson Moore. Righty on lefty pitch. Swung on and missed. That looked like a changeup. Appreciate everybody tuning in on YouTube. Appreciate that very much. We've had a lot of viewers so far in the first two games. Really thankful for all of y'all supporting these wonderful players and coaches. They've worked really, really hard to get to this spot. Heck, making this dadgum tournament is hard enough. Winning it is something entirely different. Rock Hill went 80 years before finally notching the state championship last year. Here's the 1-1 to Jackson. Swung on and popped up, but it'll reach the stands left side. And the official scorer has ruled it a base hit. I concur, sir. Hopefully the vision on the screen will get a little bit better. As the temperature continues to drop, we will open the glass in front of us. Hopefully that'll improve the vision some. Pitch from Cooper, swung on and missed. And down goes Jackson Moore. Took a big daddy hack at something, again, looked like the changeup or maybe some sort of two-seam fastball, maybe a sinker. But it got to home plate and then went right below the barrel of the bat. So one down for Nick Foster. You got to feel bad for the left fielder right now because he's staring right into the sun, and I mean right into it. Slider off the outside corner. Walked the field before the first game today, and when you looked up into the sky, as soon as that ball comes off the bat, the first thing you see is this big old ball in the sky of fire. So you got to readjust your eyes and find the baseball. Pitch, outside corner at the knees, caught a strike. It's 1-1, and we've seen the outfielders have a little bit of difficulty with this ballpark. Yes, it is spacious, but there's so much space. A lot of these guys are not used to playing in such a vast area, and it plays with them. That pitch is swung on and roped in the deep right field, still backpedaling and making the catch will be Kamari Moore. And that'll be out number 2 for Shamar Symes. And you can use all kinds of adjectives to talk about Mr. Symes. He's pretty good, in case you were wondering. You ready for these numbers? How about this? 8 homers, 33 RBIs, a .416 batting average, a slugging percentage of .779, and his OPS is 1.25. Front door breaking ball called a strike. Runner takes off for second, and he'll make it as the throw sailed to the right side of the bag. So give a stolen base to Colin Minshew. Shamar Symes is a one-man wrecking crew. And I didn't know a lot about him until the North Carolina-South Carolina Challenge. Boy, howdy, was that an eye-opener. The ball he hit in the first day of that tournament, I think landed last week. It was a rocket shot. It went over the fence, which is a 10-foot fence, by the way, at Fort Mill High School. Easily went 380. Cleared the bushes, cleared the sidewalk into the student parking lot. And I think he killed 3 birds on its way by. The pitch swung on and tapped a foul left side. But that's the thing. It's not just Shamar that can do it. Zach Hunt can do it. Riley Stout can do it. Kamari Moore's got speed and power. It's just both of these teams. It's just a gargantuan plethora of riches at their disposal. That's why they just put up these gaudy numbers. 107. Who scores 177 runs in 19 games? That's not beating people. That's murdering them. That should be illegal in 38 states in the District of Columbia. Front door breaking ball missed, and Shamar Symes says it clipped it. But the home plate umpire didn't hear it, didn't see it. I don't see Coach Urquhart strenuously objecting. The Florence dugout is protesting more than Coach Urquhart is. Ball and 2 strikes to Symes. Yeah, he stands right on top of that plate, but if you think you can jam him inside, I wouldn't do that if I were you. He's really good at pulling those hands in and getting the barrel of bat to the ball, anything on the inner half. The 1-2 from Parks. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, got him. What a great job by Cooper Parks. Gives up the leadoff single, then a strikeout, a flyout, and a strikeout. Retires the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1. Left on base. After 1 complete, no score between Rock Hill and Florence. Back in a moment on the We Are Baltimore Broadcasting Network. So for those who didn't hear it earlier, there's a little window. It's no more than, say, I don't know, 2 feet wide and 3 feet high. It looks like a drive-in window that's between where the PA guy, who is George, and the gentleman around the scoreboard, who's Mike, and us and the gentleman to my left is a scholar and a gentleman, but this idiot has to ask questions, and you can slide this glass open and close it, right? We've had a lot of fun with that today. The 0-1 swung on, it popped up a mile high, left center field, coming over into the gap, and staring up into the sky, making a catch is Jamarcus Williams, 1 up and 1 down. And that'll bring up Kamari Moore. Kamari Moore, about as open of a stance as you ever see. That pitch is called a strike. But if you watch that front foot very closely, he closes it up right as the pitch is delivered. Pitch comes inside and hit him. Front door breaking ball from Tanner, just a little too far inside. So a 1-out base runner for Rock Hill. That'll bring up the catcher, Jaden Surratt. Jaden with a very nice OPS, 697, that pitch high and outside the zone. And that's what I mean. You're looking at the guy who's the catcher for Rock Hill today. He's the 8-hole hitter, right? So you look at his stats, and they throw to first. Oh boy, had Kamari dead to rights, but called safe. But the umpire, I believe the gentleman at first base, I think I know who it is. That's one of the best in the biz, and he was literally standing no more than 10 feet from it. So I'm going to give him all the benefit of the doubt because he was standing exactly where you're supposed to be. The 1-0, going to square around a bunt, bunts at first base side. Tanner will glove it, throw to first, and that'll go as a sac bunt. Put it down as a 1-3. 2 down for Skylar Hooten. Skylar Hooten is a very versatile athlete. Pitch for Tanner Hall. That's a breaking ball. Clips the outside corner. Skylar Hooten strenuously objects. I object. Overruled. I strenuously object. Still overruled. Deal 1. Right down Tom Hall's read. It's 0-2. Hooten can pitch. Can play a multitude of positions. The pitch swung on and missed. Pulled the string on him. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good night. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left on for Rock Hill. Headed to the bottom of the second. Rock Hill nothing. And Florence nothing. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Here at the home of the Patriots, Francis Marion. And thank you so much, Mr. Or I assume it's a Mr. It's J.L. Hale, H-A-L-E. And thank you for that feedback. That's what we need to know. We need to make sure where our volumes are at, comparatively speaking. So thank you so much for that. It's really hard to do it when you're flying solo. Not an excuse, but you got a lot of things flying around, and you are your own sound engineer. That first pitch called a strike from Cooper Parks to the leadoff man, Zach Hunt. The pitch, breaking ball, swung on and ripped foul down the third baseline. Zach Hunt with a batting average of .391, slugging .594, and his OPS, anything, golly, 1.075. Wow. Pitch, breaking ball, just outside the zone. A ball and 2 strikes. The leadoff man here in the bottom of the second. No score, nobody on, nobody out. Pitch. There's another slider out of the hand of Cooper Parks. 2-2. It'll be Zach Hunt, Brody Cook, Noah Moore. 5, 6, and 7. There is another breaking ball. That too off the outside corner. And after being down 0-2, Zach Hunt's battled back to run it full 3-2. Thank you, JL, for that feedback. Appreciate that. The 3-2 all the way to the backstop. Better go get it, as it's a walk to the leadoff man here in the bottom of the second. Zach Hunt will jog to first base. He'll rip off the shin guard, and that'll bring up Brody Cook. .342 batting average, an OPS of 1.011, slugging .592 for Mr. Cook. 3 ding-dongs on the season, 20 RBIs. He has been hit 4 times, but that's only good enough for 4th on the team. The pitch, breaking ball, missed low and outside. And it's the same pitch from Cooper Parks. He's trying really hard to get that pitch in the zone. And so far, Florence has said, hey, throw it all day long. but I ain't going to swing at it till you throw it for a strike. The 1-0, fastball high and inside. And now Jaden Surratt is going to call timeout and jog out and talk to Cooper. I've been humbled and had the pleasure of calling many games with these two respective posts over the years. Two very proud programs. In fact, the athletic director of Rock Hill, Buck, he is over to our right. The 2-0 swung on and hit right back to Cooper Parks, who knocks it down. Going to go to second. Did he come off the bag? He did. The throw to second was up the first base line, and that pulled the shortstop off the bag. Josh Jackson could not keep the toe on the pillow. That's got to go as an error. I would score that at E1. We'll wait for the official score. Going to square around to bunt. Does. Noah Moore. He'll bunt it foul. Going to continue to wax poetic about these batters for both teams. Noah Moore, no slouch himself. And here comes a visit to the mound by the head man, Jeremy McCoy. He did. And it'll be interesting to see how they score it. The thing about it is that you have to remember what level of baseball we're talking about. This is not D1, Power 5. In that, it's a surefire error. Major leagues, no doubt. But at this level, and the thing about it is Cooper knocked it down with his glove. It caromed off to the left a little bit, had to pick it up with his bare hand, and he was off. His momentum was actually carrying towards first base back. So he had to come from this slot way down low and throw it to second. So they'll still waiting on the official score. Nonetheless, Coach McCoy has had his say. Jeremy does not take a lot of time. He is short, sweet, and to the point. The 0-1 going to square around to bunt. Pulls it back in time to watch a breaking ball sail low and outside. And they will score that a base hit. So the gentleman to my left, as I told you before, is the scholar and the gentleman in this box. Me? No. Square around to bunt, bunts it foul. But here's the bottom line. That is a play that Cooper Parks will tell you he should have made. And neither one of these programs will make an excuse. One thing they will not do is give up. They will scratch and claw and bleed your eyes out to win a ball game. And I mean that as a compliment. The 1-2, breaking ball, whoo, right in the front door. Everybody in the press box all went, woo. But the umpire said, nah, it's inside. 2-2 the count. Hall of Famer Derek Urquhart, the head man in the third base coach's box for Florence. His coaching staff is basically an all-star group of coaches. The pitch swung on and hit foul. Derek Urquhart, the head coach. Rhodes Dickerson, the hitting coach. Zay Paul, the assistant coach. Adam Fidoa, the pitching coach. Caleb Oakley is another assistant coach. And by the way, congratulations, Coach Fidoa. He just got an upgrade in position at the high school level. Congratulations to him. He'll do a great job. That pitch swung on and hit right to the third baseman. Going to step on the back for one. Throw across the diamond in time. Got him. A 5-3 double play makes it a runner at second and 2 down. A pitcher's best friend. Just a very calm, cool, collected double play turned by Michael Gibson. That'll bring up Josh Williams. Josh, the right fielder for Florence Post 1, not to be confused by the 9-hole hitter, Jamarcus Williams. And he swings away at the first offering from Cooper and fouls it out of play left side. I've met a lot of great people today. The radio crew from Camden and Sumter. Those two guys are just great people. We wish those guys all the best in their travels back to their respective places. Camden and Sumter, we'll see you crazy kids tomorrow. The 0-1 swung on and a worm burner up the middle. Jackson gets to it, goes to knee, throw to first. Wow, put a star by that one. Rock Hill flashing the leather, and that, my friends, retires the side. No runs a hit, no errors, one left on base. We played two complete here at Sparrow Stadium. Rock Hill nothing, and Florence nothing in the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championships on the We Are Fort Moore Broadcasting Network. It's the third inning. A lot of people jumping on the broadcast. Appreciate that very much. Hope everybody's doing well wherever you may be across the fruited plains, the beautiful Palmetto State of South Carolina, and all points around the world on YouTube. And this broadcast, of course, is free. And you know what they say? If it's free, it's for me. We head to the third inning. Due up here for Rock Hill. It'll be the top of the order. Parks rips at the first pitch and sends it into left field for a base hit. He ambushes the first pitch from Tanner Hall and a rifle shot in the left field. First base hit of the night for Rock Hill. Jordy McCoy, third base coach for Rock Hill. I think Noah Gammons is the coach at first base. I think. Don't hold me to that. I'll send Tanner Hall to the stretch and the pitch. That one's in the dirt to Ethan Wilson. Ethan trying to extend an incredibly impressive hitting streak. That pitch is swung on and ripped. Deep left field. Will the ballpark hold it? It will, but it hits off the top of the wall. Hitting the bag at second on his way to third and getting a really late stop sign is Parks, and sliding into second with a double is Ethan Wilson. Make that a 10-game hitting streak for Mr. Wilson. So a single and a double. It's second and third. Nobody out for the ever-dangerous Riley Stout. And that ball was about 3 feet from being out of here. Patrick Daniels earlier today for Camden hit a grand slam in a very similar spot to the left of the scoreboard. That ball was tomahawked. Have mercy. So now Rock Hill cooking with gas. Florence in the soup time is called as Riley went to, quote-unquote, get alert in the batter's box. And the pitcher Tanner Hall went to go into the windup a little too quickly. You'll see umpires today try to slow that down a little bit. Pitch, breaking ball in the outside corner. That's a perfect pitch from Tanner. Pitchers get a little, they're kind of taught these days to kind of speed it up, right? Get to the next pitch, get to the next pitch. That one is swung on and missed. It's 0-2 to Riley. So it's not gamesmanship. Nobody's trying to pull anything over anybody else. It's just, they get the ball back, they're ready to go. The 0-2, breaking ball off the outside corner. Riley Stout walked in the first. One of 2 free passes issued by Tanner Hall today. Rock Hill wants a fly ball. Florence wants a strikeout. The 1-2, fisted foul. And want to say hello to a longtime buddy. At least I call him a buddy. He might, I don't know if he reciprocates. Rob Livingston, the all-beloved athletic director of Chapin Newberry. Great dude, smart guy. Really, really smart guy. Pitch, breaking ball, all the way to the backstop, and it takes a turn to the left. Coming home to score will be Cooper Parks, and on a wild pitch, it's 1-0. And that ball hit the backstop and took a turn towards the third base dugout. The catcher had a long way to go to get to that one. So we've seen a team take a 1-0 lead in a game earlier today on a balk. Now we've seen them do it on a wild pitch. And it's 1-0 Rock Hill. Now runner at third, still nobody out. The 2-2 to Riley. Whew, off the end of the bat, foul. Rob Livingston does a fantastic job, puts a lot of work into what he does at Chapin Newberry, and as all these athletic directors do, it's just a lot of time. That pitch swung on and ripped through the whole right side, coming home to score, Ethan Wilson. It's 2-0. That ball hit in a perfect spot, and Riley Stout makes it a 7-game hitting streak. And the line continues to move. Give an RBI to Riley. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Michael Gibson. And keep an eye on Mr. Stout, by the way. That pitch right down Tom Hall Street for a strike. Riley Stout will steal on you. Pitch swung on and fouled off. So Ethan Wilson has made it a 10-game hitting streak. Now Riley Stout has made it 7-game hitting streak. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Oh, Tanner Hall pulled the string on Michael, had him way out in front. That's the 4th strikeout of the game already for Tanner. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Josh Jackson. Mr. Jackson struck out looking to end the first. That got a little oohs and ahs from the fine folks who paid to get into this game tonight. We'll just leave that there. The pitch swung on and popped up a mile high. Foul territory, first base side. First baseman over near the dugout. Now on the warning track and makes the catch. What an outstanding play by Zach Hunt. Put a star by that one. A huge out for Florence. 2 down for Tyler Champagne, who ambushed the first pitch he saw to lead off the second and hit a line drive to center field. Pitch from Tanner. Runner takes off for second. The throw down is not in time. And the thing about it's Jeremy McCoy. And what I mean by that is this. A tiger doesn't change his stripes. That's Jeremy McCoy baseball. They will steal your lunch money and then do it again. But that's how Rock Hill wins games. No risk it, no biscuit, right? The 1-0 off the outside corner. Now, flip to the other side. Florence post 1. They'll do the exact same thing. And then say, thank you, sir, may I have another? That's why I've been looking forward to this game for several days, because these two teams look each other in the mirror and they are very similar. They both have power. They both have speed. They both can flash the leather. Thus the reason these are your last 2 state champions. Is that Coach Fidowa? Yeah, thank you, sir. I had to memorize his name because I absolutely butchered it the first time I tried to pronounce it at the North Carolina South Carolina Challenge. That I will brag about. South Carolina won the challenge 7-2, first time since 2019. Stick that in your Old North State pipe and smoke it. Pardon? Coach Fiedel with a new head coach at Lamar. Like I said, upgrade for Adam, and good for him. Good guy. I loved talking to him when they came to Fort Mill for the challenge. He's a straight shooter, and I like that. Here's the very versatile Tyler Champagne with a 2-0. Front door at the belt called a strike. Tyler can also pitch. The 2-1 from Tanner Hall. As he comes to the belt. Comes plateward. Off the inside corner. 3 balls and a strike. And the catcher kind of double clutched. And I'll go ahead and tell you, if the gentleman behind home plate is going to have the same strike zone as the first 2 gentlemen today, you're not going to get that call. And that's not an indictment of the home plate umpire. Do not get me wrong. They've been consistent, but it's been what do they call a box strike zone. The pitch swung on and missed. It's 3-2. A box strike zone. You see on TV, they put the box on the screen, and it's a true strike zone. That's what these umpires have been like so far. A lot of these players and coaches are used to getting that half width of the baseball off the corners. Not today. And you're probably not going to get that the rest of the weekend, by the way. Payoff pitch. Miss low and outside, ball 4. Florence wanted to strike out, and Tyler Champagne draws the free pass. Third walk issued by Tanner Hall. That's not Tanner Hall's MO. So this has to be a concern for Derek Urquhart. Has to be. Pitch right down Tom Hall Street, but at the letters for ball 1, and the Florence faithful are starting to lose their religion a little bit. Tanner Hall on the season, 14 walks to 33 strikeouts. The 1-0 swung on and roped up the first base line, but foul, and it's 1-1. And folks, just get used to it. Sumter fans, Camden fans, Richland fans, Inman fans, they've all had their say about the strike zone all day long. But I'm telling you, it has been a true strike zone in all 3 games so far. Have there been a missed call or 2? Sure there have. Think about it. Most umpires see somewhere around 200 to 40 to 300 pitches a game. You think they're going to get them all right? No. The 1-1 off the inside corner is 2-1. Is that an excuse? No. But it's human beings, and we have to remember that. We'll say hello to Jennifer Vaughn. Appreciate you, man, tuning in. That pitch clips the outside corner to Kamari Moore. Thank you to everybody who's chiming in on the chat room. Appreciate it very much. Your support of these young men and these coaches is what it's all about. They are the show this weekend. And this is going to be a lot of fun. Deuces are wild. 2 runners on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Tanner Hall stays high, 3-2 to Kamari Moore. Now, if you're Coach Derek Urquhart, you have to start being concerned about the pitch count for Tanner Hall. We're only in the top of the 3rd. The next pitch out of his hand will be the 61st of the game. Payoff pitch, here it comes. Low and outside, ball 4. Not missing by much, but outside the zone nonetheless. And that'll load the bases for the catcher, Jaden Surratt. So if you're Florence, you want to stop the bleeding. If you're Rock Hill, you're one swing of the War Club away from putting a huge dent in this ballgame. And as Florence, the catcher, will talk to the pitcher, Jordy McCoy will come down the line and talk to Jaden Surratt. Jordy, been a coach for a long, long time, coaches baseball or he used to coach baseball and coach basketball for the York Cougars. And Riley Stout has pulled the third base bag out of its hole. And now there's going to be some yard work down there. Nick Foster will dig in the dirt, trying to level it out so they can put that pillow back in. Where's a scooper when you need it? And now it looks like there's going to be a little bit of action stirring in the Florence bullpen. So here's Jaden Surratt. He laid down a sacrifice bunt back in the second. We're in the top of the third. Rock Hill 2, Florence nothing. Pitch from Tanner Hall. High and inside for ball one to Jaden. Big spot in this game already here in the top of the third. Pitch swung on and popped foul right side. And a youngster from Florence will go gather the baseball. I wonder if they give him some from the concession stand if they bring that bad boy back. Baseballs are $10 a piece, y'all. The 1-1 from Tanner Hall. Swung on and missed. Umpire says he foul tipped into the glove of the catcher. 1-2 the count to Jaden Surratt. Second baseman for Florence. Deep in the hole over there. The 1-2. Outside corner, but just missed. The entire infield for Florence took a couple of steps to the first base dugout. 2-2. Pitch from Tanner Hall. Swung on and hit right to the shortstop, who will rip it off the turf. Nice play by Florence's Colin Minshew, and that will retire the side. However, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 3 left on base. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Rock Hill 2 and Florence nothing. Back in a moment here on the We Are Fort Broadcasting Network in the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championships. All right, you crazy kids. We're headed to the bottom of the third inning. Sparrow Stadium. And Cornell Field. Clifford S. Cornell at Sparrow Stadium. Home of the Francis Marion Patriots. Also, for a time, Florence Darlington Tech opened up in the spring of 2012. Big ballpark. And it has played big so far. 330 down the lines, 375 to the power alleys, 400 to dead center, and it's an 8-foot fence that you have to get the ball over. Now, if you look at it from both teams' perspective, Rock Hill has a 2-run lead. But if you're Florence, you have to look at this stat with a little bit of confidence. Rock Hill has left 6 base runners on through 3 innings. Let that marinate for a second. 6 base runners in 3 innings. That's the kind of stat that can come back and haunt you. Will Florence make a comeback and turn the tables? Time will tell. First pitch for Mr. Parks to Jamarcus Williams is swung on and fouled off in front of Derek Urquhart, who very casually watches the ball just whiz on by. I've never seen Derek panic, ever. He just seems like one of those cats. Armageddon could ring the doorbell and he'll be like, yeah, I got it. Here's the pitch from Cooper, right down Tom Hall Street, but a little bit low. Now the umpires from Rock Hill are giving the umpire a lot of, as the broadcaster from Inman said earlier last week, some brotherly fellowship. That pitch swung on a rope in the left field for a base hit. Tomahawked by Jamarcus Williams. That'll be the third base knock of the day for Florence. And actually they changed one of the scoring plays, by the way. Back to the top of the order, Colin Minshew. Bet you 10-1 they changed that one. They did. They took away the base hit back in the second. That pitch gets away from the catcher, Surratt. Moving all the way to second base will be Jamarcus. So now a runner in scoring position and nobody out. And Coach Urquhart, not wasting time, flashes the signs already. And I think they did. Brody Cook, they took away his single and called it a fielder's choice. So that's why it's only the second base hit of the day for Florence post 1. Send all your complaints to the 1-0 all the way to the backstop again. Jamarcus Williams moves up to third base. Back-to-back wild pitches for Cooper Parks. And now Florence one swing of the bat from cutting the lead in half. Colin Minshew singled and stole second, but was stranded. Back in the bottom of the first. Boy, howdy, there are a lot of people in this ballpark tonight. That's great to see. The 2-0. Swung on and ripped through the whole right side base hit. Jamarcus will score. Give an RBI to Minshew, who celebrates at first base, and it's 2-1. You knew they weren't going to go away without a fight. Both of these teams, that's just in their DNA. That'll bring up Jackson Moore. Jackson struck out, swinging, I should say, back in the first. And the pitch from Cooper caught the inner half of the plate but missed low, and now Surratt goes to pay a visit, and I think the umpire just considered it a visit because he walked out in front of the plate, I guess, because the umpire held up 2 fingers and pointed. Pitch. Back foot breaking ball misses. And folks, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but Colin Minshew has about as big of a lead as you're going to see. A lot of coaches, they'll go 7, 9, 11, and 13. My man's out there at 11, pushing 13, and there's a throw over, and I was wondering when that was coming. Colin represents the tying run. Pitch from Cooper Parks. He takes off for second. The pitch is swung on and hit off the first baseman's glove. He'll gather it in foul territory and win the race to the bag. That'll go as a fielder's choice. Nice job of Rock Hill's first baseman, Riley Stout, to stay with it. But it's as good as 2 ways to look at it. Rock Hill, you got an out, but if you're Florence, as good as a bunt. So now the tying run in scoring position, 1 down for Nick Foster. Mr. Foster flew out to right field. Back in the first, he's 0 for 1 in the old book. And Cooper's going to spin around, throw to second, got him. Oh, baby, a 50-50 call goes the way of Rock Hill. And Colin Minshew's caught stealing. So that'll be out number 2. Bases empty. As Nick Foster awaits the first pitch of this at bat, and that one goes all the way to the backstop where Jeremy McCoy will come gather it. Jeremy also an assistant coach for the Rock Hill Bearcats under longtime head coach Del Corley. That pitch stays high, 2-0 the count. Del Corley was an assistant at Fort Mill High School under Greg Pendarvis on the 2002 state championship team for the Jackets. Then moved to Nation Ford and then Rock Hill. The pitch swung on, chopper, third base side, but it will just go foul before Michael Gibson can glove it. 3 balls and a strike to Nick Foster. We're in the bottom of the third. It's 2-1 Rock Hill. And now the home plate umpire says it's 2 balls and a strike. Pitch from Cooper Parks, breaking ball, a little too far inside. Now it is 3-1. As the entire field is now in the shade. And the pitch swung on and roped into left field. Back goes the left fielder, and he misjudges it. Goes over his head. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Headed around first on his way to second as Foster makes a big turn, but he'll settle there. That ball was misplayed out in left field. The left fielder, Ethan Wilson, had a, and we've seen, and it's not just Ethan, we've seen that about 5 or 6 times today. And it's just these left fielders are having a hard time getting a read on the baseball as the ball goes above this facility off to our right. And that one had all kinds of spin on it, and it was just carrying and carrying and carrying. We've seen that literally 5 or 6 times today. So now the tying run in scoring position, 2 outs for Shamar Symes, who struck out to end the first. So he's got a little revenge on his mind. Pitch from Cooper Parks, swung on and missed. Now, they should score that a double, because I don't think Ethan Wilson touched the baseball. And they do credit it a base hit. And now the home plate umpire is going to have a little chat with Shamar Symes, and I think they're going to tell Shamar he's got to make a wardrobe adjustment. I think it might be the batting helmet, maybe. Not sure. So he took off the matte painted helmet, and now he's got on the glossy black helmet. Not sure. Your guess is as good as mine. If anybody knows what the deal was there, I'm all ears because I've got no idea. The 0-1 from Cooper Parks. Here it comes. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. And Shamar had bad intentions with that swing. 0-2, the count to Symes. Cooper Parks checks the runner at second. Comes plateward. Breaking ball in the dirt. They appeal down to first base on the swing. No swing. Says the umpire down the first base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shamar Symes. You don't realize how stocky and powerful he is until you get right up on top of him. This is a full-grown man. And I think he's 17 or 18 years old. It's crazy. Crazy. The 1-2 swung on and whistled foul off the end of the bat. Heads up down there. We're in the bottom of the third. It's a 2-1 lead for Rock Hill.